Hello everyone. Welcome. So it's been a long time since I last streamed, and in fact, I got a few more subscribers. So I think I better tell my subscriber what's going on. Why is there two men over here? yeah, yeah. So for my news viewers, other than modding foam blaster, actually I have another kind of interest. Basically, I'm into independent comics as well. About 2 years ago, I got reintroduced into American comics, something that I have not been in touch for many years. Okay, so 2 years ago, through a movement called Comicsgate, I get to know a lot of independent comic creator as well. So in fact, I'm also creating a comic book with my two friends over here, one artist who is sometimes here, sometimes not. We hope. Let's see whether he will appear today. Yeah, it's like a unicorn. Maybe we should call Cousin a unicorn.
Yeah. He is like a unicorn.
Yeah. But it's always good to have him here as well. Yeah.
He's,
Anyway.
he's our Bigfoot. Like he appears and he disappears at will.
Yeah. So but anyway, like I mentioned, so it's like 2 years ago I get to know kind of reintroduced into American comics through this I think we can call it movement Comicsgate. And like any other people know, I try to research on it on the internet. I search for it, and then oh my god, it's all the negative kind of articles. Like, what? They say, yeah, but after kind of researching and of course my own curiosity, and I realized it's not what it seems that is written on the internet. So I get to know a lot of very interesting and diverse group of creators as well as fans. Yeah, and I have a great interaction with them. And today, my friend over here, Narwhal and Nate, is joining me because our friend Narwhal has just launched his I'm not too sure, fourth or fifth campaign somewhere around there, Earthbound.
Yeah. There was Earthbound hardcover, Foreign Agent, 499, and this one, so 5, I guess.
Yeah. So
speaking of campaigns, I just got this yesterday, so I'm pretty hyped to crack into that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool. I'm still waiting for my 499. So today, basically, I want to help out my friend over here and talk about his Earthbound campaign. Yeah. So let me just bring up, rearrange the layout a little bit and see whether I still remember how to do this thing. Yeah. All right. So what you see over here, okay, I put up some info about his campaign. The left side is actually the so-called the tiers. Indiegogo is the platform that he's using, and in the description you'll find a link to that place. So in the middle is just a little bit of graphic. Now let me just kind of let me see let me see whether I remember all this. Let's just do a very quick recap of what my friends has been kind of up to. Let me see. Can you see the screen?
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
this is actually his first campaign. So it's 2018. Man, it's like how many years?
And there was a Kickstarter in 2017, I think, that borderline failed. It raised 2,000. And it was just for a little floppy of Earthbound, and I successfully fulfilled it. But even back then, I was like wrapping it all with duct tape and bubble wrap. Like I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. So back then, like 2018, this is when I got to know Narwhal. He started off. He had finally, kind of a first breakthrough, 14K in funding, and then following year, 2019. He carries on and he produced and fulfilled his kind of his hardcover version of the Earthbound book, which have great review. And he got I think 27K, and then 2020. So almost like every year you have something going on. So now it's like 41K, right? Foreign Agent. Okay. Then now today we have Earthbound Part 2.
Yeah. So it might pass Foreign Agent's total in just like a couple of weeks, I think. Earthbound 2.
Yeah. So now we're like 21 days left and we're already at 39. Foreign Agent is like, all said and done is about 41. Pretty amazing, I would say, from 14, 27, 41, 39 now, 21 days to go.
One other kind of funny backstory with that 14K campaign. It raised 14K, and I went to order the shipments, and it was like it was like pretty, I don't know, it was 6,000 or something to get 1,000 copies, but I only sold 400. But I was like, I can order some extra, but they're like, well, it's actually 7,000 to get 2,000 copies, so just 1,000 and I was like, oh, but I only sold 400, so I was like, so I did it, and then I realized to print and ship everything ended up being 14,000, and so I totally would have like lost money or not made money.
My God.
But I was like, I guess that it worked out because it kind of kept growing, or the second campaign made more money or whatever. But and then I had a friend who gave me some storage space to store all those extra books.
Okay, hey, Elgar guys is here. Let's
Elgar,
show
what
some
up?
like, all right. He's always the first to come to my stream. I will appreciate Elgar always join me. Yeah. All right. So today we are gonna Nate, you have to help me out today. Today we are gonna try to get some info out of Narwhal again, which is pretty difficult. We're gonna find out the past, the present, and the future of Earthbound and what he's up to. He's like getting better and better looking. Damn. Okay, I'm the only fat one now. Yeah. Okay. Let me just show us the stream. Since we are talking about Earthbound 2, let's just bring back some memory again. This is actually a promo video from Earthbound 1.
Oh, yeah.
Hello and welcome to Earthbound, Between Two Breaths on Earth, a science fiction graphic novel that follows two headhunter agents on a mission to Earth to recruit the Sirens of Violence, 4 deadly warriors in hiding. The Sirens won't come willingly. Luckily, the agents have special weaponry that jacks the target's free will. All they have to do is isolate the Sirens and get a clear shot, a good way to have fun on Earth. For this campaign, Narwhal Comics is releasing the first half of the story. Funding goes to a print run and top ramen, as well as production on the second half. Earthbound means bound to Earth and printed by Earth. Between Two Breaths means a moment in time, a breathless moment. In the universe, there was a flash of interest on Earth by the powers behind the Galactic Grand Prix tournament, and that is this story. Join me. Let's feel it out and see where this goes.
I want to say one.
Goes to part 2. yes, say something. Yes. No.
One thing that's funny is seeing this old Earthbound promo art. There's a design for like that. It's like a giant green floating head kind of dude who's like a skull and a crown.
Yeah.
And he's a kind of a character appears towards the end of part 2, and I've been drawing him the past couple of weeks, and I forgot that he has like a skull face. So I'm going to go back and just add a skull face really quick because I was drawing him differently. It's been so many years. That's
Damn.
hilarious.
Can I charge you for reminding you?
Yeah.
Do I get
like, this is like a funny form of editing. That's also just a funny thing. I guess it comes up if a book is like 5 years in the making, because it's been off and on since I turned 30, working on other stuff too, but started it then.
Man, 30. Such a number that is so far away from me.
Yeah.
But
well,
anyway.
yeah, I'm 35 now.
Damn. Okay. Anyway, now give us a quick run through of Earthbound. What's the storyline? I know we hear the promo video, but for old people like me, we can't catch that. It's too fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so it's a kind of simple story, I guess, but then that sort of complicated world maybe. But the story is just 2 bounty hunters are sent to Earth to recruit 4 deadly warriors, and they're in a competition against each other. Whoever recruits more of the 4 shall earn their freedom. But in the case that it's a tie, the bounty hunter's employer appoints a fifth target, a tiebreaker, and that target is Wiz Kid, and he's hiding out on Earth, and he is their estranged ex-partner. They used to run jobs together. There's I think it's a 1-page flashback that wasn't in the original script that I wrote, but I put it in part 2 of what happens right before the beginning of the story, because it starts with Earthbound with 4 years ago with Wiz Kid, part 1. 4 years ago with Wiz Kid washed up on a beach, and there was a shipwreck, or like a space shipwreck. And so there's a flashback in part 2 to kind of like, it was the job that Spaceman, Julia, and Wiz Kid, young version of Wiz Kid, were all on, and how it goes wrong and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so what's on the screen now is actually in the middle is basically some page for the new book. The left is just some cover from the previous cabinet, and then on the right is actually some of Narwhal kind of artwork that he randomly does. Yeah, so of course on the far left is actually some of the perks for his campaign. So again, link is in the description. If you click on it, you can go to the Indiegogo and check it out. But anyway, yeah, so Earthbound, I remember back then what intrigues me is of course the R-type weapon. Yeah, so no, can you tell me a little bit or refresh the memory for us a little bit? Because I remember, maybe I'll let you do the talking.
Yeah, that is, I guess, kind of the main high concept for the story. They say with sci-fi should have some high concept that kind of hooks. And the reason I think people like it and the reason I like it is because it implies like multiple stories, but obviously this story just focuses on one way they're used. But the R types are these weapons that there's two of them, and one's purple, one's green. And if you shoot someone, they basically get their free will hijacked and they join your team. So these two bounty hunters come to Earth with these guns. They could conquer Earth if they wanted to, but they have a different goal. Their goal is to just get these deadly warriors. So I mean, they could blast like a world leader and take over the Earth, or they could shoot like any, there's all these different ways that those guns can get utilized. And it was back when I was writing the script. It was an adaptation from an earlier script that I co-wrote with a buddy way back when. That was a horror movie called Sniper Rifle Wiz Kid versus Psycho Movie Killer. And all the characters' names are in that, but everything's different. And then with that one, we were sort of just on the outside of Hollywood here and there. We'd talk to producers once in a while, and they'd read the script because my buddy, he was friends with some actors that were on like TV shows, like just a couple, but so we got one producer to actually read the script, and he's like, "Oh, I like it. It's great. We can do this." But and by the way, I realized too, it's all bullshit. Like, like they all say that, and but so this guy was like power tripping, being weird. I think he might have been almost like a con artist, but he's like, it's great, but we need a complete rewrite from the ground up, and it needs to be more like Guardians of the Galaxy, because Guardians of the Galaxy had just came out. So he's like, not a horror movie, make it a sci-fi action movie. And blah blah blah, but at that point, so my buddy, his name's Lou, so he kind of had his own project. So he's like, you can take this and do the rewrite yourself if you want. I'm gonna work on my movie. And I was like, cool. So I wrote a complete sci-fi story from the ground up with the same character names, but like everything else is different. And the main idea that I had like from that kind of everything grew from was this idea of these guns that instead of killing people, they make you join their team. And there's one kind of side effect of that I do enjoy about the Earthbound story is in part one, at least, is the story, while it's still really high stakes and like free will is at stake, nobody's died yet. The body count is still actually like 0, which is like rare for a story. And that's something I can play with, like I think that in part 2, there are some scenes where real guns are introduced. So then it's not only free will, it's life and death,
Yeah. Well, I want to use the R type on two of my sons. That'll be good.
Yeah. Pew.
Yeah.
See,
wow.
It could be a short comic right there. That's so funny. But then if the son, one of like a new son, steals it and shoots you, and then
oh
it's like,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a message to the producer who miss your kind of story. Here we go.
Is he a genius? Is he a savant? Is he like, what's up? Like, this book, nobody else makes stuff like this. I've never read a comic like this ever.
I read it and I got done and I was like, oh man, that went by quick.
It's really immersive. It really pulls you into the world.
Totally forgot how many pages it is. I think it's like 136. I read this in one sitting.
This book should be so critically acclaimed. It's really that good.
20 years ago, this would have come out from one of the big publishers and it would have been celebrated everywhere as this groundbreaking achievement in comic book storytelling.
To me, this is the biggest discovery of crowdfunding.
Totally.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know that reminds me too. There's another little origin story of Earthbound that's kind of interesting. I might have said this on previous streams at some point, but it was like when I got like 38 pages done, so I was like still 30. Like I'd started it only like 6 months prior or something. I was really jumping in, and some of the funny stuff about it was like to start a big project like that. I hadn't done that yet. I'd worked on comics and I'd written a lot, but I hadn't jumped into a big project like that. So one of the things I had to do was kind of there were so many creative decisions to make that it can be like really intimidating and kind of lock you in and paralyze you kind of. So my kind of rule of thumb was like, fuck it, we're just gonna do it. So like I draw a guy and I'm like, all right, that's Spaceman. He's got big bubble shoulders. And I'm like, I'm not changing it. We're going on, we're moving forward. And just moving on to the next stuff. And I got 38 pages done and I put it out for free online and it got hey, Costin's here. Costin, what up?
Yeah, we got our unicorn.
The unicorn.
Awesome. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, the launch is going good.
Yeah, man.
So I'll
thank
you. I'll finish this story really quick and then we'll catch up with Costin. But so it was 38 pages for free online on blogs and stuff. I posted it at that time. I was still on Facebook and I put it on Facebook. And it did get, even then got a pretty good response, but just like people reading it say they like it. But one editor, there was an editor and I forget what company he worked for. They're Lions Forge now, but they're but he DM'd me and he's like, I just read it and it's amazing. Would you ever consider publishing it in print? And I was like, oh damn, like, yeah, that's awesome. So I couldn't believe it. Like I actually was having imposter syndrome and I was like, wait, it can't be this easy. Like this is too much. Like I just drew 38 pages and all of a sudden it is going to get published. Like, I don't believe it. And we DM'd for 2 weeks back and forth and I sent it to him and I sent him like the full script and stuff. And actually then he ghosted me. And this was right around the time where the SJW stuff was really taking over. And I kind of was starting to pick up on that because for a while I didn't get it. But then I was kind of thinking like, I think he had, as an editor, he had a quota, like a diversity quota he had to hit and he didn't want to hire straight white males or whatever. Yeah. So he kind of just ghosted me. And I actually confronted him at a comic convention later, not really confronted, but like said hi and reminded him that we had chatted about that. And then he never got back to me. And he was just like, oh yeah, sorry, man. I got nothing. Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of frustrating, but that's why Comicsgate's so great because it's given us all a shot where we might not have had it. So
yeah, so I think now's a good time to go through some of the so-called the perks or say the tiers. You want to run through with us a little bit because this is after all part 2. So I'm sure there are people who did not get part 1. Are they going to get it? Can they get it, or what was it?
Yeah. So
what do we have?
Part 2 is not a contained story. You pretty much need part 1. So if you don't have part 1, you can get that here with it and get the 2 books combined. Will be like 240 pages, and it was originally based on a movie script, so it's a little bit different than even like the way floppy comics then become a trade. It's like very much like the reading it is like watching a movie, and you will be. It encourages you to kind of with the pacing to read it in one sitting. Not everyone does that, but it's kind of like designed that way. And so there's you can get them both. You can get part 2. There's leftovers, a limited amount of leftovers.
Is this the first tier? The Earthbound part 1, 2. This is the one, right? The feature will get you to those. Is that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's that one.
Okay.
And then it's just if you did back it previously and you just want to get part 2, that's that tier. Mm-hmm. And then there's original printings, a few left over from the original printing that were in storage. I got them, so they're marked up slightly, but if you want to get those.
Okay, so let me get this right. This $40 one is so-called the first printing, right?
Yeah.
So this one on top is second printing.
Yeah, that'll be second printing.
Okay. Got it. So this one is second printing plus part 2, and this one is the OG first printing.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. All
and then there's part 2 plus the sketchbook, which the sketchbook is part 3 and it completes the Nosferatu story. And I've gotten a lot of requests that people want to be able to buy sketchbooks 1 and 2. And I think
they can buy from me and I won't sell.
Yeah. I know anyone who's been collecting from the beginning. Yeah, you're in a kind of cool position to have the whole Nosferatu. But I think actually I got a little scheme for the middle of the campaign, how it can be slow. I think I will introduce a tier, and it might just be 50, maybe 100, like limited, but because I have to print new copies because they're gone. But I can print new ones of Sketchbook 1 and 2 and sell those as a little bulk if people really want that. Please
do, so that my version 1 will increase in price. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on. Yeah. Oh, great. Next hardcover. Yeah.
So just part 2 hardcover. I'll make that available for people who got the hardcover. Part 1.
So it's just 300, right?
Now yeah. And I mean, I could up it a little bit. The original, there's 500 in print floating around out there, and this one at this point it's only going to be 300. I switched printers, so it's like a little more expensive.
Okay. Yeah. So I actually got the book 1. I have the hardcover. I have the soft cover as well. So I think I got this as of now. I'll be getting a soft cover as well. All right. So next one, what is this?
The shirt. So the shirt. This one is funny too, and I'm curious about your guys' feedback, even what you think, because so I got tunnel vision a little bit right before the campaign. I was so excited to launch shirts, and I learned screen printing. Like I watched hours of YouTube. I bought all the stuff. I did one attempt that completely failed. And then I watched all the YouTube, and then I did another attempt and got a good screen print of the logo. Because with screen printing, it's kind of a little limited what you can do, but which I like how it's kind of fun. But so then I created these shirts. Right now I just have like 40 of them, but I can do quite a few. And they haven't been flying off the shelves. And they're all original. Like everyone's slightly different. They're screen printed by hand by me. So I'm like, people are gonna love this. But they haven't been flying off the shelves. So my idea is maybe again to kind of possibly boost it in the middle is to do another screen print of a graphic underneath it. But I don't know what it could be. It'd have to be screen print friendly, and I'd figure out a way to do that.
No.
And so then it'd be the logo and a graphic, and it might make the shirt a little bit more enticing for people to drop $40 on, because that's what it's priced at.
You know why it's not flying off the shelf? Because people don't believe that you did it. So let me help you out.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's hard. By him. It is by him. So he's doing it.
This picture actually got people confused who know screen printing. They're like, wait, you just do it yourself, like holding it down awkwardly with your elbows? And I was like, actually, no. I had my mom help me for a while.
Damn, now you go down in price. No.
I'm
trying to help you. Hey. Okay. So there you go. It is by him. Okay. Rest assured, it is by him. So So no, the next the other thing that you can do, maybe you can actually kind of I think people like to personalize it a little bit. Maybe adding your kind of your whole hand print on it somewhere.
Oh yeah, that'd be funny.
Kind of the whole 5 fingers.
What if it's just Earthbound with with Narwhal's handprint right on it?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
You dip it in that ink.
Yeah, that I could do that fast. That's hilarious.
Come on. What's your tagline for Earth?
I don't know. That might be weird.
Your tagline is between 2 breaths on Earth. Right, come on.
Yeah, so there's a quick story with that is because it was going to be part 1 and part 2. That wasn't the original plan. I was going to release it as 1, but then I was like, shit, I can't draw this much this fast. I need to sell a little bit now. And luckily the structure of the script did have like a good midway point. So it's like, that can be part 1. And then I was like, okay, but then I can't call them both Earthbound. I'm like, I need to think of subtitles.
Yeah. So your shirt can be something like, you're going to buy those fabric kind of paint whereby you write some phrase randomly. They won't know what they get.
Yeah. Like a bonus, like 1 in 10 gets,
and then
the Narwhal hand.
You can number them somewhere. one of something, one of two of something somewhere inside underneath. You know?
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
one of those shirt like draw markers that are like I could sign it with that, or offer like 5 to 10 shirts where I draw, actually do art on them with those pens, or I don't know.
Yeah, you need to get some of those like metallic pens. And you sign your name or something.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Narwhal, you're the Narwhal Mafia, right? So there must, you must tag us.
There's Narwhal on the back or something, or.
And let's go. Last few. This is the OG hardcover, part 1. Okay.
Yeah. And this was another kind of interesting thing, because when I go to launch it, I was like, I want to price it higher than the original, but I don't want to price it too high or it won't sell. And if you price it too low, it'll sell out immediately. And I think it's kind of doing okay, because there's not that many left and they're kind of high demand. So people are paying double for it, basically.
Okay. The last one is basically all the graphic novel that you did. Is it? Let me see.
Yeah, and it's hardcovers of everything except Foreign Agent. I don't have.
Oh, it's actually almost halfway through. It's 23 or 50. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I heard something about Narwhal as well, not about comic book. I heard that he's a man on a mission. What mission? Let's take a look. Let me see. Is it working? Damn. Oh, wait. Let me see.
All right, we're here with Narwhal Fitness. All right, today I'm talking about grunting. You can grunt in a lot of different ways, like, huh, but you can also grunt kind of sexy, like, and you can grunt like you're taking a shit, like, yeah, and it's good to mix it up. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Okay, excellent.
I think the lumberjack workout, man. You got in the woods.
What the hell? What are we doing? Explain yourself.
No, that's at my buddy's property, and he owns this weird backwoods property, and we call it the beach. And we go out there and like just lift like weird, like Muscle Beach, but it's just like the woods. And I have been getting kind of into it, and I've been even streaming with doodle bags to talk fitness, and I want to do it next week. Do another fitness, and I call it mine thing Narwhal Fitness, and I'm like a fake life coach or whatever, but it's kind of like earnest. Like I give earnest advice. I'm just like, but it's like still a joke because I don't know what I'm talking about.
You're sincere.
Yeah.
I like your dollar store protein bars and
protein bars.
Yeah. I'm gonna live stream from the dollar store, but I'm trying to build up my like confidence to do that, because it's actually nerve-wracking, because I want to not live stream, but I want to film myself like while I walk into the dollar store, but then people will be looking at you, and I'm gonna do it, but it's like an exercise in like trying to like not be embarrassed or whatever.
You should befriend the people in the dollar store, the cashier or things as
right.
Things aside.
Yeah,
or get some like workout tips from them or something.
Yeah.
Little advice on nutrition at the dollar store.
Yeah, man. All right. Oh man, no, please don't get fit, so that I don't feel so alone. Don't ever get.
Misery loves company.
No, I it's my mission to stop you from getting fit. Yeah. All right. Yep. Good influence, right? I'm a very good influence. All right. So we hear about almost like the past. Now we also talk about the current, which is this part 2 that's going on. Let's hear something about the future. What is your kind of a plan for this franchise, your Earthbound franchise, or what is you personally, starting from 2018, you're working at the so-called what was the word?
The deli.
Deli, and with a minimum wage, and now 3 years on, you're a guy that is having campaigns that is like 50. I'll say that now it's like 39 thousand USD. So what is the plan? Share with us a little bit.
Yeah. So I did have a little bit of a revelation kind of recently, and it kind of tied in with this one being pretty darn successful. And my plan is like, I want to sink all the money just back into comics. And so I've got a couple artists lined up where I want to be kind of hiring them to draw stuff that I've written and stuff that me and Nate have written, by the way.
Yeah.
Me and Nate have collabed on a couple things, because that's like an interesting thing. Yeah, it's like where, as far as level of success, it's like, yeah, I left the Fred Meyer deli. Lifestyle wise, I noticed it didn't exactly change, except now I have, what's fun is, I remember thinking when I was younger, I was like, man, if I just had like a little bit more money, like not much more, but just to get started on like on a dream. But if it's a minimum wage, you don't even have that. And so I used to say to myself, I'm like, dreams start at 40K. If I could have, so it's like, now I'm there. I'm like, shit, this was my dream. I achieved it. So I'm like, what are my new dreams? And I'm like, I don't even know, but I do know that it's basically
maybe they'll be wet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Never. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see what you're saying. Wet dreams. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, you're so slow. I'm disappointed. Okay. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. So just that it's even though my lifestyle still like kind of not exactly leveled up, my ability to sling like investments in comics is leveled up, and it's fun. Like just to even have a little bit of money to put back into comics, like in some way, like thousands of dollars, like even with Nate, like paying him and paying some people. But that's kind of my big idea is if the Narwhal production could double, because it would be hiring an artist for one project and then I'm drawing another. That would be like, that's kind of the new dream. So I'm going to explore that in the next year and see how that goes. And if that is able to like level it up one more level, or if it's kind of staying in this zone, which is still awesome. It's amazing where I'm even at now. I can't believe it, but yeah.
Okay. So in terms of how about the so-called the Earthbound kind of you say that is part 2 will have a conclusion, but there is also kind of like a cliffhanger kind of thing at the back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of open, and it doesn't address one kind of big hint at the world building is this thing called the Galactic Grand Prix, which they say is in 4 years. And all that's happening on Earth is like a recruitment process for the Galactic Grand Prix. And there's almost like a draft system, and this is all kind of like part of the world building. And I wrote a little short to further explore the draft system, and Fresher Luke drew that. So that'll come out like next year. It's just a 20-page one shot.
Okay.
And then, but there will eventually be a true sequel, which will take place during the Galactic Grand Prix and check in with all our characters 4 years later. And as their paths cross and stuff. And yeah, I am stoked on that. It's not written yet, but I do have like tons of ideas for it. So I think I could write it, but it's just, so it's still like, that would be like, a couple years off even, but that is definitely something that will happen.
And another question I have is more like a more personal kind of interest for me. Is like, from 2018 until now, do you feel that your writing, your art style, or anything that changes, or you feel that you're more confident, or in a way, is there any kind of kind of changes that you feel about it, writing styles as well as your art style and whatnot?
Yeah, good question. I am still always trying to improve, but one thing I've said too is it's kind of weird. I'm trying to improve vertically, not horizontally. So I'm not exactly changing the game with my art at this point. I've got like my style down, but I'm just trying to get that better. And if that means like the drawings can still be better, and it does slowly improve, but it's like, it's kind of weird too. It's like, there's certain things like I almost couldn't draw another style even if I tried at this point. Cause I heard Reagan Lodge talking about this, and Matt, maybe you can relate, but like, I like see the world a certain way now, and it's like hard to see it other ways.
The Matrix.
Yeah.
You have exit the Matrix.
Yeah. And like, 'cause sometimes even, so this is like, my art there's debates about it, about various merits of it, and so some people don't like it, some people do like it. And sometimes I'll look at people's complaints and they'll be like, it's not detailed, and I'm like, what do you mean it's totally detailed? And so like it's hard to like get in that zone, but I like that there's a discussion about it, and I do try to listen to that, and I am trying to see where it goes or whatever.
I think part of it too is you're kind of like fighting against a comic reading group that is used to thinking of lines, colors, and stuff like that as different people, and you're doing all of it. So I think that's part of the hang up there.
Yeah.
I've actually been thinking about this for a while because I've seen that charge leveled against a lot of people with slightly simpler styles. George Alexopoulos gets it a lot too, even though he's a great, technical artist. He does everything. And just like your art, a lot of his stuff is about like the color and the shape, and it's not about the line art. I think that's part of where that comes from. They're just not looking for what you're doing.
Yeah. And there is a lot of, I forget what it's called. There's testimonials out there of people who didn't like my art at first, but then they did like it. And I can appreciate that, because like that's part of the fun of comics is it adds to that interactive experience, is if the art actually grows on you. That's like a little bonus of having that experience of like, not only did I maybe like the story, but also the art grew on me. That's like kind of a fun thing to have happen. And I've had that happen as a reader, reading other books, and I do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Here, I've had that where there's one book my brother was showing me, and I'm like, I don't know, it's not the art style is not really my thing, And then he just goes, read it though, it's a great story. So I read it, and then I actually ended up loving the art too. I was like, this is great. We're looking for the guy's other works. And I was like, man, it's so good.
Let's watch this again.
Is he a genius? Is he a savant? Is he like, what's up? Like, this book, nobody else makes stuff like this. I've never read a comic like this ever.
That was weird, because that was a weird side story of everything, because it got that good review from your boy Zach, and he and I had only talked a little bit. Like, I hit him up once. I think he tweeted while he was still on Twitter once when I was promoting it. He tweeted once and he said, I find this art style very compelling. And even that triggered in the DMs or in the responses, there was a debate over
Now I have to break it to you. I'll be your Asian parent. I'll say that you're never good enough. There's always room. Always room for improvement. What are you thinking? You think you are there? No. Study harder, my son.
You're my tiger mom.
Yeah. I'll be your mom. I'll be your Asian dad. Okay. So
I want to learn drums, Daddy. Buy me a set of drums. Right by your bedroom.
When you give me a report card, I'll say, you think that's good enough? If it's good, I'll just do a quick nod and then just ask you to, okay, carry on.
So your boy Zach, so I emailed him after that, and I was like, oh, you said it's compelling, you want to work? And he's like, maybe. And then we were kind of talking just a little bit, and then he's like, I don't think so, because Iron Sights kind of split people too, and I think people from me, they expect more traditional art, so maybe not. So then we didn't talk for like a couple years or whatever, and then he really liked Earthbound, and then we talked kind of a lot, and that's kind of where Narzak came from, and working on 499 and everything, like where he actually we like collaborating together. So that was so kind of like lucky and cool. And when his big review, that's kind of what made Earthbound sell out basically pretty almost overnight. And then that's when I quit the Fred Meyer Deli. It was like 2 days after that. I'm out. Yeah.
All right. Oh, that goes fast. Oh, let me see. Anyone? Oh, who's that? Who's talking?
Oh, it's a sweet panel right there, that page.
Okay.
Yo.
Toom.
Toom.
Yo, Toom.
I think we have only 1 or 2 viewers. Oh my god. But I think it's great fun to hear all this. Yeah, so I think times goes by pretty fast. What time is it, guys? You have any more things to share or anything?
No,
Oh,
well, we should either if you want to not do it now to keep this focused, but we can stream in like a week and just do it for
Yeah,
fun
sure,
modded
sure.
stream.
For fun. I'm about to send the drones to Cousin again. Gonna airstrike him again. Damn. Yeah.
I'm working on I'm working on it while we're
Oh,
talking.
okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, it's looking
Now,
good.
okay. Let me just focus on Cousin.
Oh, that's so
All
cool.
right. Okay. So okay, pause for a while. Let me just speak to my call my audience. So like I say, we are working together. Me, Nate, Narwhal, and Cousin the artist. We are all working together. So this is a comic book that is based on inspired by my so-called modding, foam blaster modding kind of hobby. So it is a story about a bunch of foam modding players that get to save the world. Yeah, so we are almost halfway there in terms of art, and hopefully I want to finish at least the line art first, and then try to plan how to launch this campaign as well. Come, Cousin.
Yeah, I feel
Okay,
it, man.
before you start, let me just tell you, I'm going to judge this, and if it's not good enough tonight, I'll airstrike you. Okay, go.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. No,
It looks amazing.
Thanks, man. I feel like seeing Narwhal and getting this campaign and everything has inspired me too. So it's good stuff, man. Checking out all the because I love the first one that I got, so I'm looking forward. I'd like to get a T-shirt, so I might try to get the T-shirt bundle.
Oh yeah, I got to get that graphic going to incentivize everyone. I'll think.
Yeah,
about
man,
that.
I think that's a good idea. See, I try to think the same way. I'm like, what would get people to really get? I started thinking more of that along those lines on things, you know. Like even when I'm doing like panels and stuff, I'm like, okay, this is what I normally would do. Now what should I do to make it look more dynamic to get people, you know,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
interested
yeah.
in it? So
Yeah,
like,
you know-
I redo this already.
Oh yeah.
What
Oh,
was you
my-
gonna say?
I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? The fact. So it's been a slow process, obviously, but there are some benefits to that, and one of them is that, yeah, like my street cred has grown a little bit, and by the time we're ready to launch, like, yeah, hopefully we'll be ready for success, and we'll have a dope product. We're all really proud of it. The art's amazing, and the script is really fun. And me and Nate are working on the sequel script right now, and it's really fun too. We're really excited about that.
Yeah, man. I told people
my
that.
subscriber also gained. I think when we all started, I was like at 1K subscriber. Now I'm almost reaching 2K. Yeah,
nice.
So, yeah, nice. Yeah,
Yeah, man. I tell people, I go, yeah, Narwhal's coloring it. And they're like, whoa, how'd you get Narwhal to color? And I'm like, actually, he's the one who brought me in.
with a knife at his throat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting this done, man. I'm psyched up. I've actually been drawing like the past few days, just drawing nonstop, sitting here and inking. And I'm starting to do my live streams now, so I'm trying to get that going where that's also incentivized me because I feel like people are watching me now. The eyes are on me. I got to get this done. And so it's kind of like a motivator for me, a self-motivator to start working on my live streams. And so,
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going.
Carson, I missed. How are your like creative projects in general too? Do you got anything else besides modded?
Well, I've been working on mostly this, but also I haven't drawn anything. I've just done some like character designs, but my brother and I are working on a book that we want to do after I finish with this one. So we're kind of like getting my brother's writing it. He wrote it actually, and then I'm kind of starting to do some character redesigns. And he had another artist that was on it like earlier, but they kind of were like, it's too much for me. I don't know if I can do this. So I'm like, I like the story, and I'm like, it's kind of like it's a little darker, but it's like kind of on the lines of stuff I like. So I'm like, you know what, let's do this because we always want to work on a book. And
yeah. And does your
so,
brother?
yeah.
He's an artist too, but it's like cartoony.
Yeah, he does like a cartoony. He's like kind of Euro manga style cartoony, and he does like, his stuff. He actually is funny. He's younger. My younger brother. He's actually influenced me to get more into like cartoony my stuff more, and my background used to be more like portraiture and realistic stuff, and then I realized, you know what? As far as you could take that, Alex Ross is the best at doing that, and I'm like, I'd rather prefer doing weird faces and exaggerated expressions and everything, and I find more joy in that. So, but yeah, he's definitely, his style is really cartoony, and it's funny. I show him my work, he shows me his stuff, and we give each other feedback. But yeah, I'm looking forward to working on him.
You know, there's something, Costin, there's something I'm kind of curious about is when this launches, you'll get a good beat on it. But I think because you crowdfunded one like 3 or 4 years ago. Do you remember? It was with your friend who passed away.
Oh, James Hudnall.
Yeah. And that did pretty good, and people loved your style back then. But you haven't been on the Indiegogo circuit since then. And I think when your stuff debuts, it's going to blow people away, and I think it'll be really successful. And yeah, like that's an eventual evolution for you. I think you could make that transition to just doing your own projects, fulfilling them, and having them make thousands of dollars. Yeah,
that's what I've been telling Cousin. Come on, man, give us your own IP.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show this comment again.
Yeah. Tim is a regular on my streams. Also, he buys art, but he also backs a lot of Comicsgate stuff. So he's a real big supporter of Comicsgate projects. Cool. I mean, so
nice. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
Matt, your kind of style too, or like your like system right now, is it you kind of bring in ends meet from commissions as well as this? Is that correct?
Yeah. That's another thing. Is like I'll do commissions, and the cool thing is like. There are a lot of people in the commissions part are patient too, because they know I'm working on this book. So I keep reminding them, I'm not forgetting about your art. I'm working on it too, but I'm trying to get these pages done as well. So I'm learning how to balance, because I just got married as well. So I'm learning how to balance everything.
Yeah. Hey, congrats on that.
I was about to say, we forgot to do one thing. That's the congratulations to Matt. Yeah. So the next thing, if again I'm gonna be your Asian dad, Matt.
Yeah.
No, the Asian dad will ask you this question: when are you going to have kids?
Yeah. No, it's gonna be a little while.
No pressure.
We already plan on waiting at least a couple of years. Just because we want to get to know each other, live with each other, get to know each other is really good, and then we can add on like the children.
I'll tell you what I tell Noel. That's not a good answer. That's not good enough, cousin.
Faster, kids, faster, drawing faster, everything.
Yeah. I feel the pressure, and it's good. It's good though, because I need that pressure. I need the whip cracking sometimes over my head to get me awake.
Yeah.
But seeing your guys' projects, man, and seeing like Narwhal working on stuff, and man, it's getting me fired up. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think it will be like. I mean, so we've talked to like a little bit about the business plan of this project, like because Tungsten's funding it, he's going to be in the hole a certain amount, and then printing and shipping. It's like we kind of want to hit 40K is when we start making when we start making money.
Okay, now if we hit 1K, you give me the 39, okay? Because you already have 39 now, so I know you have the money.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hold you to that. So if you hit 1K, I'm gonna take this 39 from you.
Yeah, we'll figure stuff out, and it might break even at like 25K even, but then like we can like Tungsten makes a little money at 40K. I don't know, but there's somewhere in there, it's like higher than you might think. This isn't like 5K, 10K goal, but even though we might set it at that, but we'll just know in our heads that we want it high. But I think when I look at Costin's art, I'm like 200K easy. I'm like, it's so awesome. Like it's so kind of like it's classic anime, which you actually can't find that anywhere on Indiegogo really. And then, but within that, it's original Costin style too. So
I would say that Costin is like a true mixture of American comic storytelling with a anime kind of influence. I won't even say aesthetic is more of an influence, because anime aesthetic is slightly different in my opinion. So I feel that Costin one is like a real marriage of American comic with a little bit of anime kind of influence in terms of aesthetic
Yeah, I love manga and anime, and I always wanted to just go all out and do like a manga style, but like American publishers at the time were all like, no, we don't want that, like that doesn't. And I'm like, dude, that's so super popular with fans, and they're like, yeah, but it doesn't sell, we won't do that. And I'm like, now they've changed their tune, of course, after this, like was it one book kicking their butt, the entire industry.
Yeah.
But it's like,
What book is kicking about?
it took a while for them to realize that there's $1 billion industry over there with anime and manga and everything, and it's selling globally, not just in the U.S. and Japan, but in Europe. They love that stuff too. They do cosplay. French animation does like manga style, like anime style animations. But I love that stuff. I love it what you can do with it. And this story you guys wrote, I think it lends itself perfectly for like a manga anime look, because it's such an unusual, weird story, right?
Yeah. It has that manga feel where they'll take something super weird and take it super seriously, and then it's kind of hilarious.
And it's like you're into the world that they created, and you're like, wait, this is an amusement park where everybody's trying to kill themselves, and it's like, what? They're trying to kill each other, and it's like, but you're into it. You're like invested emotionally, right?
Yeah. This is definitely kind of in that realm, which is fun. And actually, I was just looking at some of your art, and I was feeling that. I'm like, look at like him shooting just a dart, but it's drawn like with the Matrix.
I did a comic. I did an illustration of the Matrix, like an old one I found, because I was thinking, how am I going to do the darts firing? Because it's just a dart, right? And then I thought, I remember I did these Matrix type of ovals, and anything in that ripple path is like distorted. I'm like, I got to do that because. And Tungsten was saying, do something with this so it looks different. So I'm like, I took out the old illustration I did, and I was like, how did I do that? So yeah, it's like anything in that field is like ripple field is distorted. So the art, I got to start incorporating that where people are, especially when he fights the champion. It's going to be great.
Oh yeah, cool.
In my head, I'm also already thinking about book 3. What is it about? So actually, the so-called the delay is actually doing us too good as well. So I get to think about how the story flow. I think I have a good idea how it's gonna end as well. Kind of situation. Yeah. Then
I can't remember. Do we say is it part? I think it's. Do we said it's 4 parts, didn't we, or do we say 3?
Yeah, we say initially, right? Yeah, we say 4. So let's see how it goes. It could be the 3, could be a extra long version maybe. Rather than always 48. It could be a real slightly longer version, and have a very very because I guess there'll be even more action, so you need more pages and whatnot. So it could be longer. Yeah. And,
man. Earthbound, man. Earthbound 2, baby.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Tungsten, refresh it. I think it might pop up just a little bit.
Okay. Let me see. Or if it doesn't, my God, I'm gonna go and hide.
I was telling...
It.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna care. I'm gonna say that it's my credit. This
right.
I'm gonna claim this as my credit.
There's something funny about launching a campaign at any level of success, really, because I remember this from early on. You'll get a ton of dopamine basically, and then as it inevitably starts to slow down, you get a come down and you feel kind of bad, even if it's like and it's kind of funny. But the first time that starts is when you refresh it and it doesn't go up, and you're just like,
Yeah, it's almost like social media where you put a post up of like some new thing, and then you're like, okay, I got 1 like. Wait, there's the other like, and you're like, come on.
Yeah. I've been watching some like self-help videos on YouTube to deal with it. It's like you got to be outcome independent. You can't be like attached to the outcome. Contingent on external.
It's in a marathon too, man. Like, right? I mean, the campaigns usually at the beginning you have like a spike, and then maybe in the middle, and then it lags for a while, and at the end all of a sudden, right?
Yeah. And the other thing too is like kind of just the way it works in your head is the campaign is like a blur and crazy, and sometimes you'll look back and you'll be like, wait, 2 months already happened, and then you got to fulfill, and like that's crazy too. So and then you do it all over again when you finish that. So
yeah, man, I'll get tips from you when I launch mine.
yeah, I know some stuff now. I got a new possible plan too for Earthbound 2. There's some products that line up pretty good. One of them is Gemini. You can buy Gemini mailers, but you can also buy just Gemini cardboard packers, and they're the perfect size for a foam mailer. and a foam mailer with 2 of those, I think, is actually almost more sturdy than a Gemini mailer, and it's lighter and it's cheaper. So I'm thinking about trying to think about that. I don't know. But
You'll have to let me know how that turns out. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
'Cause I was looking at Gemini mailers, and when I was looking at when I was running Hexwood, I'm like, as thick as this book is going to be, I don't know if it will fit in a Gemini properly.
Yeah. The Geminis, they'll fit pretty darn thick, but yeah, they're kind of. I still get damaged orders from them sometimes. And they're not perfect. And
they're not very waterproof. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
And I know people will put their books in like those bags, but even those are not as waterproof as you want them to be.
Every time I receive a package, it's like a heart attack. It's like, oh my God, some packages, it's like all the corners are being like, crushed and all. I say, oh my God, this is going to be a goner. But when I open it up, it's okay. Some package is perfectly fine. Everything is okay. When I open it up, there's, oh my God, there's this knock at this particular spot, which oh my God. So every single time I receive a package, it's like a heart attack. Yeah, I have some serious horror story kind of. Let me see. Okay.
Yeah, man. I sent
all right. Thanks,
again.
Tom.
Damaged. Oh, here we go. Sorry.
You'll be backing.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Let's try to refresh this screen again. See whether it's any. Okay. Let me see. Oh, sorry. Don't get excited. That is SGD. 55. Okay, hold on.
Oh wow. It looks like it passed 40,000.
Nice.
Last time I heard we were only at 37 last time I seen it.
So I wonder if I got a big tier backer maybe.
All right, 40K.
Yeah,
nice.
Cool. Okay, that's the first stretch goal. Okay. Everyone gets stickers now.
All right.
So I'm going to claim this. Please tweet this out, Norma. That thanks to Tungsten, we have our
Tungsten. While we've been live, it's gone up like $400. That's right. It's kind of So there's a couple things this campaign's got going for it. One of them is the fact that it's the sequel and people like the first one. So a lot of people are jumping in with the word of mouth. They're buying books 1 and 2. So the highest backer or the backer average is higher than usual. Like I think usual in general, it's $40 is the average backing. And for this one, the average is $60. And so that alone kind of means it's kind of going a little bit higher than I'm used to. And and the fact that we're not halfway through yet, and I got a plan to boost the middle, and it will get boosted at the end. Ethan's helping me. When I finish fulfilling 499, I think your boy Zach's going to give it a boost. So I'm like, this has a chance of hitting 6 figures, which would be amazing. And that would definitely put in the Narwhal pipeline of like, we're getting some books into production, and so I don't know.
So will you be extending? You're probably going to go for another 30 days or anything? Depends.
Yeah, I'll extend it a little bit, and then it'll be in demand a little bit. And it's there's something I kind of am self-aware about that is like, if do you even jinx it by mentioning that the possibility of 6 figures? But I'm like, I think within CG, it's kind of this culture that's kind of fun. It's like everyone wants to hit 6 figures. And you never know when it's going to happen, and it'll happen sooner or later if you stick with it, and build your audience. And so it's fun. I think it's kind of fun to just talk.
When you hit 99K, I'm going to trick you into clicking on the end campaign.
Yeah.
I'll try my best.
I set a stretch goal at 100K. That will be so much more work for me. So if it hit 99,000, that would actually be perfect.
Okay. Then I'll change my strategy. I will help you to reach. I like to watch you suffer.
Okay, Asian dad.
Yeah. No, suffering is always a good training. That's what we say. Suffering is always good training.
All right, we're here with Narwhal Fitness. All right, today I'm talking about grunting. You can grunt in a lot of different ways, like, huh, but you can also grunt kind of sexy, like, And you can grunt like you're taking a shit, like, yeah. And then, it's good to mix it up. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
I missed that last part, and then you mix it up. I missed that.
Yeah. So okay, I feel good to know 40K at my channel. Yeah, finally.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a good interview too. I'll retweet it because I told a few anecdotes that I haven't on other interviews, I think.
Yeah. So I guess good. So the next stream we'll be doing, probably we can talk more details on modded and kind of brainstorm a little bit, and then time for me to correct all your mistake, Narwhal and Nate. You stream without me. What is this?
Oh yeah, we'll do a story on.
Yeah, I was
refreshing on
rewatching and
part
shaking
two.
my head. What is this up to? My God, don't they listen? No. I'm about to send a drone to you as well. Yeah. Okay, I think it's good. I think the timing is good as well. It's like in a 1 hour's mark. It's way past my bedtime, and I'm covered in sweat.
You're loopy from tiredness.
Oh my God, yeah, man. All right, so I think it's a good time to end this. But before we end it, let's just do a kind of a last. Go watch the video on or the Earthbound, right? From the first campaign first. I think it gives a good intro to the story. Let's go. Is it playing? Okay. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Earthbound, Between Two Breaths on Earth, a science fiction graphic novel that follows two headhunter agents on mission to Earth to recruit the Sirens of Violence, 4 deadly warriors in hiding. The Sirens won't come willingly. Luckily, the agents have special weaponry that jacks the target's free will. All they have to do is isolate the Sirens and get a clear shot, a good way to have fun on Earth. For this campaign, Narwhal Comics is releasing the first half of the story. Funding goes to a print run and top ramen, as well as production on the second half. Earthbound means bound to Earth, and printed by Earth. Between Two Breaths means a moment in time, a breathless moment. In the universe, there was a flash of interest on Earth by the powers behind the Galactic Grand Prix tournament, and that is this story. Join me. Let's feel it out and see where this goes.
Whoa, yes. Okay, we have another. Now you lost weight.
Yeah.
So calm. Okay.
Follow my YouTube for more weight loss advice.
Oh no. Bad idea. Okay, I'm gonna thanks everyone for dropping by, and hope you enjoyed the live stream. I certainly enjoy this gathering. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna end the broadcast now. Yeah, let me.
Cool.